What's up, Pleekers, and welcome back to the Pleeka podcast. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Nick.
And this week we're switching it up a little bit. We're sitting on the couch, and we're going to be talking about every single theory on Savitar. Then we're going to get into what we did this week, and then we're going to talk about the finale of Big Little Lies. So, do you want to go first with... We each kind of picked some characters, so do you want to go first with your first character for theory on Savitar?
I can. I guess HR would be the first theory that I want to get into.
Okay. So what's the theory, and then explain why?
Well, I mean, basically the theory is, I think from the stuff that I've seen at least is everyone. HR loves myths. He's a book writer. He's and all that stuff. Then when Savitar comes, he's always. See, I think at one point he says, "Barry, I love a good myth," or something to that effect.
Oh, really?
Yeah. HR calls Wallace. Savitar calls him Wallace. I don't know if I actually believe that HR is gonna be Savitar.
It's weird. I do, but I don't. There's things that happen. I'm like, oh, well, he has to be. But then it's like...
But there's other times...
He's also just so fucking weird. There is a thing I think they could be setting up, because I saw this in another theory video, and it would totally make sense.
The trickster thing? Not trickster.
The thinker?
Thinker. I get them confused.
But, because, you know how he can do that thing where he becomes the other person? He did that one?
Yeah.
They said, it's weird that they did that, and it's just one episode, which that could just been a thing so he could walk around to the public. But they also said that maybe he'll use that alter ego and become a bad guy, and maybe, so when he says he's with that girl or whatever, he's really out being the thinker, and nobody knows.
Which is why they don't need money and all that stuff.
Yeah, because he's doing stuff bad. But then eventually the team's gonna be mad at him for that, and then he'll be the big bad next season, and that'll be a little twist.
That'd be kind of cool if they set it up a season in advance.
Yeah, that's what I was there. I was like, oh, I can totally see that, because we're like, oh, he's got to be Savitar, and then he's not. We're like, oh, I guess he's just stupid, and then
he's just stupid and weird.
And then next season he's the bad guy. That could be cool.
I mean, basically, he's the Gilligan of this episode.
I don't know what that means.
He's because Gilligan was the stupid, funny that everyone loved.
Oh, you mean this season?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I said this episode.
Yeah,
I meant this season.
I thought it was
a
specific thing I get it.
Yeah, no. And that's what he's like. He's there for comedy. He's lovable. The only thing that scares me about is the last episode when he was gone. Even though Cisco didn't say a word about it the entire episode.
Until he showed up.
And then he was like, oh, and then Caitlin's like, oh, you really like him, don't you? And then he said, I just worry about him. So they're starting to feel for him, and that's usually when something bad happens.
Yeah.
So...
when Caitlin starts wanting to fuck Jay Garrick, and then he's like, I'm Zoom!
Yeah, that would be a good example.
Yeah.
Is that how he said it?
Yeah, he's like, boom, I'm Zoom, Barry! That's how he revealed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you don't trust HR because he's so goofy, and no one can be that stupid.
Well, and there's been a lot of times where, he's like, oh yeah, just do this, and then they're like, why? He'd be like, oh, well, because of my Earth, we fucked that bad guy.
Yeah.
But it could be like, oh, because, I'm Savitar, I'm from the future, I know that.
Right. Well, and the only thing, there's a couple things, I don't think he is because, he helped Jesse...
But remember, Savitar's got plans for us, so maybe that's why. He's like, oh, Jesse can't die.
Right, and
maybe Jesse plays a vital, plot into making
Well,
him
one of the
become
videos
Savitar,
that I watched to try to get ready for this video is that, in one of the comics, that Savitar steals Jesse Quick's speed.
Mm-hmm.
And... So,
look at you now, you're dropping comic knowledge on me.
Yeah, I know, it fucking scares the shit out of me. So, but when I read that, because I was looking to see... any connection, because he said that I have plans for you, and that stuck out to me for that. So, I mean, I don't know. We've been talking about HR being Savitar for the last couple of weeks, and I don't really have a better suggestion at this point, so that's kind of why I picked HR first. I'm actually more interested in hearing what you have to say about Eddie than what I actually had to say about HR.
I'll get into that in a second, but I do want to say, after we say our theories, I'm going to read, and you can read some too if you want, some of the comments people left on last video.
Oh, okay.
Flat podcast. Because they said some theories, and there might be some things that we said, but I do want to give you guys a shout out and stuff like that. So, I wrote down some stuff for Eddie, because, I didn't want to forget some things. But for one, have you seen that? You remember in that early episode when Jay Garrick's talking about Savitar? There's that white guy and he's holding up.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Looks like Eddie from behind, basically.
If he was like lifting weights.
Yeah, if he were.
I mean, I haven't seen Eddie without a shirt on.
Which I mean, he's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
We did just see him in the Speed Force, but he also had like a big shirt on, so you can't really tell.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I think it could easily be him. So I put it looks like him. I watched this video, and at first I thought, okay, this is the guy's stupid. But then the more he talked about it, I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So behind him, he's got like a little scar on the back of his shoulder. I'll put a picture of it on the video.
Savitar does?
Yeah, Savitar does. And then he showed a picture of when Eddie got shot, and it matches exactly from the front and the back. Like if Savitar would have been shot, that was.
But doesn't
Eddie.
he have armor on?
But it was when he was a human. Remember, he's a normal guy. So if he
was
was
that was on the screen?
Yeah, when the guy's becoming it, you see like a little bump in his back. Looks almost like a scar.
I got you.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like that could just be his muscles because he's so muscular. It could just be a thing back there,
Right.
or it could be they made note and like made something like that. So then I wrote down that he's mad. Maybe just first just write stuff down. He could be mad at Barry for dating Iris and mad at Iris for like moving on and dating Barry. That'd be one reason that he could be mad and do that.
I mean, yeah.
That's a bit of a stretch for him to be doing that, but that's one thing. And then, so he got sucked into the wormhole at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
And all those portals, or whatever they're called, look exactly the same. So they could easily say, oh, it sucked, because like, that's the same stuff that opened up all the Earths for them, basically.
Yeah.
So they could say it sucked him into the Speed Force. If he lost his mind over and over again in the Speed Force, you can constantly think about how he sacrificed himself for Barry. Barry did Flashpoint, erased the reason why he did that, because now Reverse Flash is back alive.
Yeah, well, and then
like,
when you told me about this a little bit, you didn't get into too much detail, but the fact that he did kill himself to save them.
Save all of them, and then they just undid it. And
then Barry goes back and undid. That would piss me off.
Yeah, and then plus
I didn't think about that until you said that.
He's losing his mind in there. He said he lost his mind like twice over, or multiple times over.
Yeah.
So that he's probably just getting more and more mad about it. So I said that, and I said also, if he got sucked into the Speed Force, he could have easily got Speed Force powers, which would heal him from the bullet wound and, make him a speedster, make him all that. But then it would also, because he got sucked to the Speed Force, he's not affecting the world out there, so that would make Reverse Flash still like dead up until the point of they did Flashpoint.
Right.
So it would still make all those plans still work. And then what else do I got written down? I said, oh, because the Speed Force is also the past, present, and future, while he was there, how he could have got his powers is he could have found the Philosopher's Stone in the Speed Force because they threw it in the Speed Force. Grabbed it, and then he, like you said, he created himself. He could have done that. So that's one other thing I wrote down. And then I have a quote of when Savitar is there talking through Julian. He says, "Everything you took from me, I want it back." And he says that like in different ways multiple times to Barry, like all the things that you took from me, I want them back.
Right.
And I thought that made sense because Barry took Iris from him, and you could say in a way that Barry took his life from him.
Yeah, I mean through his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's basically what I have written down for how Eddie could be Savitar.
That would be interesting.
And I also how one is like that could be the easiest one where it's like it's a cool twist. They have a bad guy, but it also won't affect the show for season 4, to where like they don't have to like get rid of a character, hire new guys. Stuff like that.
It'd be really cool if it was Eddie and then they have HR for the next season. I can't believe we're talking about the bad guy for the next season, but
well, I mean they did drop a hint for it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But so I meant to say this before. I think we should rate on a scale of 1 to 5 how much we think that theory is going to be true. So we'll jump back to HR real quick. Scale of 1 to 5, how much do you think the HR theory will be true?
3.
3 out of 5?
Yeah.
How much for Eddie?
I think it's just as likely.
To me, Eddie, I'm 4 out of 5. Like I'm almost 100. Like I feel like it could be nobody but Eddie because we've seen that future area. Barry's in the future. The trailer for the next episode, and we've seen basically every other character except for HR and Joe.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it's HR. For multiple reasons. One, that he did the Facebook post. Him and Grant Gustin are promoting their new short that they want to make, and he's in his HR clothes while they did that. And they're filming past the episode that they reveal Savitar, and so I feel like that's a semi-spoiler that he's not Savitar. Because why would he be hanging around Star Labs?
So, like, if he would have done it with Barry, but he was dressed up as a Savitar, you'd have been like, damn it, it's him.
Well, no, but, like, if he would have done it and he was dressed up as... Like, I was looking because I was like, oh, if he's dressed up as Harry, that means HR is Savitar because Harry's there now.
What if he knew that and just dressed up as...
I feel like that he wouldn't care. If anything, he would just wear normal clothes. But he was in his HR clothes.
I got you.
Because Grant Gustin, I believe, was in his Flash costume, but then he had like a hoodie on, like a red hoodie. But he could have changed into normal clothes for them to shoot that thing because they're taking a break from filming.
Right.
So that's why I don't think it's Eddie, and that's why I don't think it's HR, and why I think it's Eddie.
Makes sense. I wouldn't be disappointed if it was Eddie.
I'd be pretty happy because I've been saying that from the beginning. Oh, I hope it's Eddie.
Yeah, I was flipping through some of our videos, and like a long time ago, like one of our podcasts is Eddie Savitar, and I was like, wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, because it was when they put that picture of him that like, oh, he's actually gonna be on the show.
Yeah.
And then you were like, you came up with that one thing, and I was like, oh fuck, I hope it's him. That'd be awesome.
I don't even remember what that was.
That they save his life, and then he is mad at Barry because all that, and he becomes Savitar.
Yeah.
So that our theory there wasn't right.
No.
But I think him being Savitar could be 100% right.
I still think that Barry should just go back in time and fix everything again, and then that'll all be fucked up again.
Yeah, well,
you basically do that every season.
Yeah, but then eventually, like, because
I'm just kidding.
He killed Cisco's brother. Eventually, it'll be like, Joe's dead.
I didn't like his brother.
So there is rumors that Joe's gonna die at the end of the season. Like,
see, that's the only thing.
They keep showing Iris.
They keep saying that when they reveal Savitar, it's gonna be sad.
It's gonna be sad, shocking, and you'll never see it coming.
And yeah, we're doing a podcast about it.
Yeah, which we've done almost at this point done a podcast for every. We're mentioning it now. We're gonna do every single character.
I don't think Eddie being is sad or shocking. Maybe shocking, but the fact that we're talking about it.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't think it's gonna be Eddie. So I mean, I think people will be.
Oh right.
But what they're also saying is that it'll be surprising, and there's no hint in the show that it's him. So I think it's like you could easily say like, oh, I hope it's Eddie. I guess it's, or I want it to be Eddie, and I have this theory why it's Eddie.
I mean, he'll have to kill someone on the team for it to be sad.
Which I think it could be Joe or something.
Maybe it was his partner.
Yeah, well, because I don't think they're ever gonna kill Iris.
Well, they've done it every episode.
Unless it's well, I don't think it's for good.
Oh. Okay.
Like it'd be just like I don't think Ariel will ever kill Felicity. Like they do a thing that makes you almost seem like it, but like I don't think they ever will.
No spoilers, by the way.
I'm
only on season 2.
But I think it could possibly be Joe that dies at the end of the season.
That'd be sad if Joe died.
He's not really been in the season a lot. It hasn't been like a vital part of the season. No, he's like Barry's like dad.
Now see if it's Eddie and he comes and kills Julian, that's not sad.
Yeah, not at all. It'd be like, oh, it kind of sucks. Like, I was kind of starting to like him, but no big deal.
The only thing that worries me is every time there's a new character, that's the bad guy. Not that there's been a lot of seasons, but Julian is the new character.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
And you know he's not doing it next season.
And they purposely said that this twist is different than their others, and their other twists have been it's the new guy on the team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
I feel like it'd be way too obvious, especially from the start, that it was Julian as Savitar. Especially because it gets so weird, so Savitar went back in time, made himself alchemy, and then made himself Savitar, and talked to, like, it'd be...
Yeah, no, it'd be weird.
I feel like it'd be so weird, it'd be stupid. Like, it wouldn't be a cool reveal at all.
I think Savitar will kill Julian.
Oh, you think so? What if he kills like Julian and then Joe, and they're like, "Oh my god!" and then they beat Savitar in the end? Because I can see that being sad. They show it's Eddie, and Eddie's like, "Fuck you, bitches," and then runs away.
Well, and if HR isn't a bad guy, he's gonna save the day. I think.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
Like he's gonna be the goofy one that cause
and then they'll be like, "Oh my god, he's not Savitar. He saved the season." And the next season, he may be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I could see that. So do you have another character you want to go on?
Let's do Wally.
I mean, he did create himself.
He created himself. He got sucked into the Speed Force, so technically he could replace Savitar in the Speed Force, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is I don't think he would kill his own sister.
I mean, he did say in the Speed Force, because he must. If it's Wally, he must get trapped there again, because he didn't lose his mind. He's been fine since then on the show a little bit.
Yeah, fine's a stretch, but yeah.
But like he's not crazy.
Yeah.
So he must get like, if he loses his mind and he's like, oh, they moved on, or something.
Yeah, he would have to go back in the Speed Force like next episode, and then you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it's
I
Wally.
mean, Barry did go to the future, so it could be like, oh, something happened in the like when they reveal it, like something happens because he's in 2024. Like say like in 2019 he get trapped in the Speed Force with you fighting Reverse Flash again or something, and then
Yeah, I suppose, but he's gonna because they're moving up on the date where Savitar comes back. He still has to come back to life to kill it, or come back to the past to kill his sister, and I just don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see that happen, especially I don't like how he is in the show now. At least I don't think he would ever kill anybody.
No,
No,
it doesn't seem like it.
So I don't.
Maybe if they were hurting Joe.
Yeah.
Or almost Jesse.
Oh, another thing we didn't say for HR is that he's training Wally just like Reverse
Oh
Flash.
yeah, it's almost exactly like Reverse Flash.
Yeah, which I feel like that's another thing that they're teasing us like, oh, remember season 1 when Wells was training Barry and he's the bad guy?
Yeah, I'm with you there.
So
yeah.
it seems like
seems too obvious for
yeah. But then I feel like there's more for the way Wally's been acting, and also he could see Savitar when no one couldn't for a little bit.
He does get jealous super easily.
Yeah,
but I feel like they all do.
No, yeah, they all do. Like Barry gets jealous of Wally. At least he was quite a bit in the beginning, and then now he's just was kind of getting used to Wally.
Yeah.
I feel like the only way they would have stuck with Wally is if when Barry went to the Speed Force, he failed to get him out of there, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, it's Wally. I feel like that's the only way they would have.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he got him out of there.
They got him out,
and in the preview we see him in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's true. He's in a wheelchair. Like, yeah, I'm Savitar, but you fucked me up, Barry. Like.
Maybe he's like super fast in that wheelchair.
That next episode's gonna be real weird. But
yeah,
I think it'll be real cool.
I'm excited for it.
I'm wondering if, especially because the guy who plays Here's Rules, Tom Cavanaugh, put on Facebook like, oh yeah, we're back on April 25th. But 2017, he's like, but remember on the newspaper it's April 25th, 2024. Barry goes missing and like all this stuff. So like, they've mentioned that, and we've noticed that. I wonder if they will mention that at all. Or, like, maybe because Savitar's thing, now the future has changed, and that doesn't happen. I don't know.
I'm sure something will happen from it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too coincidental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else for all? I feel like that's really much it, 'cause, like, I don't think it's going to happen. There's not much more evidence.
No, I mean, I don't think it's going to be him. So I would put a 1 star on that.
Yeah, I would, too.
Okay.
So this next one, it's Flash or Barry Allen. I don't believe it's this anymore. There was a while where I thought it could happen, but now seeing the future, seeing emo Barry and that he's sad. Clearly, he's not sad because he killed Iris, because he could have just not killed her.
Right.
So, but the theory is that which it could be one of these, I guess. It's future Barry Allen, which I don't believe it's that. But there's also a different timeline Barry Allen, or remember at the end of season 2 when he made the time remnant of himself and then killed himself to beat Zoom?
Yeah.
There's a theory that the time remnant of him is Zoom or Savitar, and like that one's pissed off at him, but like, and then they can say like, everything you took from me, you took my life basically, and all this stuff. Like, I could see that. That'd still be a dumb reveal, I think.
Yeah.
So then like the quotes are like Savitar says, "I'm the future Flash," and then Barry was the only one that knew about Reverb when Reverb told Cisco that you could have been a god, but then now you're just hanging out with Barry and doing shit. And then Barry, in most of the stuff, it's always in his head, or like, it's him that's his worst enemy. So then they could be like, oh, now you really have to fight yourself.
Oh, yeah. I don't buy any of that.
But I don't believe it. There's also some people saying that like, oh, this is like pre-Flashpoint Barry coming back to fight him. That's a big theory, which I can see that. That maybe be because Flashpoint is the huge story in this. Like, don't fuck up the timeline. He even sang about it with Supergirl.
That's true.
But I think at this point it being Barry would just be dumb and wouldn't really make sense because there hasn't been any. I mean, they've already said there are not going to be any clues, but there hasn't been like a single hint that it's himself.
And then we're back to once again. So he's really going to go back and kill Iris, the one person he loves.
Yeah, like that'd be dumb.
Yeah.
Especially for like because everything he's done at this point
is for Iris.
Yeah. So like.
It just doesn't seem.
It wouldn't make sense at all.
No.
The only person
he spent 2 seasons trying to get Iris, then he gets her, then he kills her in season 3.
I can see the only person that's been on the show that would kill her is Eddie, and we've seen this happen in real life. A jealous ex-boyfriend sees her with someone and happy. He's like, oh, if I can't have her, no one can. Yeah. Kills her and goes crazy.
Turns into a Transformer.
Yeah. Or like a Power Rangers villain, kind of looks like.
Yeah.
I watched a clip. Someone uploaded a behind the scenes clip of when Savitar is fighting Wally, like when he threw him against the thing, and he's all big. He's like walking back and forth, but like the suit's so big, like the guy had to like look at the floor as he's walking away. Like he looks giant next to Barry.
Oh yeah.
So then Grant Gustin walks on the screen, but it looks like so like it'd be so annoying to be in that suit.
Oh, I'm sure it's annoying as hell.
Like I guarantee that guy's not really running. Anywhere.
Yeah.
So
the suit's actually kind of cool. I've gotten used to it.
It looks way better now instead of when they used to use it because he wasn't really there. They'd use the digital version. That one looked weird.
Yeah.
But as a real suit, it actually looks pretty cool. Like a pop figure of that would be real cool, I think. Especially if they made it like slightly bigger than the other ones. Like not like one of the giant ones, but like just a little bit.
Right.
So where do you give out of 5 for the Flash?
I'd say 1.
1 star, just like Wally.
Yeah.
So basically the last person, because I don't think it'd be anybody else besides these people. The last person's Jay Garrick.
Okay.
Unless you want to say like, oh, it could be Joe. Iris went back in time and killed herself. Like I doubt any of that's gonna happen.
It would be kind of cool if Iris went back in time.
I saw one person. Oh my god, I can't believe how stupid this person was. They were like, I got a theory. It's Captain Cold, and I was like, well, one, you saw the guy's hair. Captain Cold's bald, basically. And he's got like the tiniest little bit of hair, and it's gray.
You'd be able to tell just from the voice.
Yeah, I know. But they're like, yeah, because Savitar's blue and Captain Cold's blue.
It's the blue thing.
And I was like, that's what you're going on? You walk through shows and you see 2 people blue and you're like, oh, it must be the same person.
How long did you watch this video?
Like 2 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Because like, they started saying someone else and then they moved on and went to Captain Cold and I was like, yep, not watching this anymore.
I looked up videos to see anything about Jesse Quick.
I looked up videos and almost clicked on our own.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I wonder... Hey, that's Pleeka. I guess Jerome.
I didn't do that, but I couldn't really find much. I found the thing about Savitar taking her speed or whatever.
I thought you were gonna go. I found the thing about the Savitar taking a shit.
Wow, it was super fast. But then I looked up theories on Joe too, and I found one. A guy had like a 2-minute video, and basically he goes, "This is my theory on Joe being Savitar." Now I don't think this is real, and I don't think this is gonna ever happen. But this is my theory, and then he literally never
sounds like Hess talking about a theory.
He literally never said anything about how Joe could be Savitar, and then he said, if you agree with me, like and subscribe. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's funny.
So, I mean...
So, reasons why Jay Garrick could possibly be Savitar is, one, he's obvious when he's trapped in the Speed Force right now.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, he's been in there way longer than Wally was. It's been a couple episodes now that he's been in there. And he was the first person to inform Barry about Savitar. And I saw 2 things. There's one, this was a little confusing to me, which if I was Barry, I'd call him out on his bullshit. He says Barry's the only person that he's known that's seen Savitar, but then when they were fighting, they kind of acted like they knew each other, and I think he says something about how he's seen Savitar before.
Oh.
So, I mean, they could have just been writing, but one time he says he hasn't seen him, another time he says he has. But then I've seen some people online like, oh, his hair and him from behind could also just seem like Eddie. He's a white guy with similar hair.
Right.
That could be him in the picture or the video. I don't think, especially because of the backlash they got last year, I don't think they would make it Jay Garrick again. Because comic book writers were like, I'm done with this show if you guys make Jay Garrick the villain.
That's funny.
So, like...
Maybe they're doing it because of that.
And then the show people were like, hey, calm the fuck down, watch the show before you criticize us, and you'll figure it out.
Well, and, like, that's funny. I wasn't caught up then, so I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Maybe because I was catching up.
I remember me and Taylor, like, I feel like that'd be weird if they just, like, the first introduction to Jay Garrick, because he's a bad guy.
See, I wouldn't have known any better. I'm like...
But I do like the real Jay Garrick's outfit better than the fake one, and I'm a little annoyed they don't have a pop figure of that one yet. Like they just have Zoom's Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
Because like it's all bright and like I like the thing on it. I did see one person too. They said one theory is like because Jay Garrick's lightning bolt, like unlike everybody else, has like an emblem. Mm-hmm. His is on the shirt like that.
Yeah. And
Savitar's, it doesn't have a circle. It's just the lightning bolt like that. So they said
I didn't even realize Savitar has the lightning bolt.
It's just like all the other, except for Reverse Flash. All the other speedsters, it's so hard to see their fucking lightning bolt.
Yeah.
But his is similar. I was like, yeah, but I don't know. It's weird.
I could see it being Jay Garrick because it's the whole he replaced him. I don't get that. Why there has to be someone in the Speed Force? Like, isn't that little zombie guy flying around? Isn't that enough?
That zombie guy killed Reverse Flash.
in Legends.
Yeah.
Isn't there another Reverse Flash floating around though somewhere?
There's millions. There's also other Earth Reverse Flashes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But,
So
like, but it's just because Barry plucked that one out of the timeline, so then it was all fucked up.
What if he plucked the wrong one out, and then he's mad and he's actually
because
Savitar.
he took the one that killed his mom or whatever, so that one's supposed to be dead from season 1.
No, I know. I was kind of playing devil's advocate, but it'd be kind of cool if somehow it was just Reverse Flash being Savitar.
There's a theory about that too.
Really?
I don't know what it is, but I saw people be like, oh yeah, because like in a couple videos I was like, yeah, I know that people have some theories on Reverse Flash, but I didn't see any. But I could kind of see that, except to me, I think Reverse Flash is more of the guy who like wouldn't hide behind someone else's name. He'd just be like, yeah, Barry, I'm back. And be like the bad guy.
Well, you know more about him than I do.
But from season 1 and what you've seen of him in season 2 and this season, doesn't he seem like he'd like want Barry to know it's him?
Yes.
Like he wouldn't want to like make this whole mystical game and all this stuff.
No, yeah, totally. I just thought it'd be kind of cool if it was.
No, yeah, I would like that. I'd probably like that as much as Eddie, because I just
don't know
Flash.
any other bad guys that Flash has besides him.
There also is a theory, which I would hate this because it'd just be stupid. You know, his name is the Rival. He was the guy at the beginning of Flashpoint that was like almost like a fiery Flash suit.
Oh yeah.
There's people wondering if it's him, but we saw Savitar kill that guy. So unless he's doing a Zoom thing and killing himself,
he's the one he killed the guy in prison, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I don't think it's that guy. There's also a theory about him, too.
Well, I mean, I guess he could have... If you went back in time and killed yourself, you're only killing...
Yeah, but that's what Zoom would do, but...
Yeah, well, and Barry.
Yeah, but I still think it'd be stupid. Because, like, we got introduced to that guy just for him to die twice, and then, like...
Yeah.
They're also going to make him the big guy.
I never liked that guy anyway, so...
I thought his costume was kind of cool.
I didn't even like his costume.
A lot of people hated it.
Yeah, I hated it, too.
But I just thought it was... Because it was different. Like, everybody else's is usually very similar.
Yeah, but I mean, just because it's different, I just didn't like it. Just my personal opinion.
So do you have anything else to add about Jay Garrick being Savitar?
No, you kind of got it's. It's kind of like how HR is sort of a dad to Jesse Quick. You know how like he's not, but he kind of is, but he's not.
Yeah, and yeah, it is exactly the same thing actually. Yeah,
yeah.
Jay Garrick's dad to Barry.
So then he would kind of have to
kill his dad.
Because you know Barry feels that way.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so like that would be kind of.
And he acted too. Cause remember, he was watching Barry after Flashpoint for a while.
Yeah, it's
plucked him out and had to talk with him.
Kind of creepy.
So I think he saw Barry like jerk off.
So the fact that he's even watching him is kind of makes you wonder.
I guess a little bit. I didn't think about it like that.
You know what I mean? Like, why? Yeah. Don't watch me, you creep. I mean,
like I wonder if he's seen Barry naked because he watches him so much.
That would be the first thing you think of.
Well, if some dude's watching, he's like, Barry's taking a shower and he's like, oh good, he's not fucking up the timeline, but look at that sweet ass.
Wow.
Dude, like he could be doing that.
Yeah. Now you should play Somebody's Watching Me right now.
No. So what do you out of 5 rate Jay Garrick being Savitar?
Probably a 2.
Yeah, I'd give it a 2.5.
Which basically means I don't know who the fuck it is because I've done 2 3s, a 2, and a 1. I don't have a 5 in there.
I did a 4 for Eddie. I still think like 90% it could be Eddie.
90?
Yeah.
Wow.
If it's not him,
I kind of hope it's not him. Just so you're wrong.
Just like when they revealed who the bad guy was on Arrow, I'll be a little disappointed.
Yeah, but you'll get over it.
Yeah, because I do like the bad guy in Arrow now, but I wanted it to be someone else real bad.
The bad guys don't usually last very long after they reveal them.
Well, at Flash, it'll be like 3 fucking episodes, 3 or 4, and then show's over. Which is weird that they waited this long, but also kind of cool because like it gave us something to wonder about. I know some people are like, it's so annoying they took this long. I'm done with the show, but like.
Well, I mean, obviously, if we're still talking about it and we're excited for the next episode, they're doing something right.
Yeah.
So I mean.
So any other things you want to say about Savitar or Flash or anything before we move on to what we did this week?
No, I'm just excited to see who it is.
Yeah, I am too. I almost completely forgot. I said I was gonna read some people's comments. So
yeah.
I'll get it. If you want to get it up right now too, you could read.
What am I supposed to get it up on?
Oh, you don't have your phone or iPad in here?
No.
So I guess you won't.
Yeah, Jerome will be reading.
Alright, so let me see. View more comments.
Are you gonna read the one where the guy called me up?
That's actually the first one from Joseph F. He says, why is the guy on the left such a fucking dick to the guy on the right? Dude, what answer for that, Mr. Guy on the left?
Aren't I on the right?
Well, now you are, but in the previous video, you were on the left.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I will put it on the fucking screen there, bub.
Why am I such a... What did he call me?
He said, why is the guy on the left such a fucking dick to the guy on the right?
He should come to our podcast. I'll be a fucking dick to him.
Or maybe, yeah, but then he'll like, I like this guy. He's like,
You
hey,
like,
don't
I like this guy.
don't be hurting Stroman's feelings.
He didn't even know our names.
Even though I don't even know what he did. Most videos I can be like, I know the exact point he was a dick, but I don't know.
Really?
I don't know this one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So moving on.
It's rude.
Here,
That really hurts my feelings.
I'll let you read this next one. We'll take turns reading a couple. Make sure you say his name too.
Little Mario Zero?
Yeah, Little Mario Zero.
Okay. It has to be Barry's Time Remnant or Eddie. Well, he said both? Only those two fit the clues and died, in quotation marks, weirdly in front of everyone. That's true. I don't know what this says. What does that say?
Let me see. The only two that fit all clues and died weirdly in front of everyone, and come me think of awesome backstory of Eddie Eddie growing to hate Barry and not giving a FK about Iris anymore, and seeing Flashpoint as an opportunity to come back after being sent to the Speed Force through the portal in the city.
Well,
So-
I could have read the rest of it. I just didn't know what
well, I
that...
figured I might as well.
you just kind of glossed over that word, so...
I think it's come to think of an awesome backstory, Eddie, but he very odd.
Okay.
Oh,
You're actually
boy.
going to read that one?
Okay, this is the last one I'm gonna read. I don't know. I guess Little Mario replied to this guy, but so from Ernie Pernell.
Really?
That's what he wrote.
Well,
The clues do point to HR. He was nowhere around in this episode until the end.
See? Go ahead. Sorry.
Abra could have pointed him out easily had HR been in the room, since Abra knows who Savitar is, but didn't recognize Julian at all. Savitar says HR survived. Why? And makes HR special. And HR encouraged Wally to train harder to become faster. Wally used his training to pitch the Philosopher's Stone into the Speed Force. HR even tells him that the team is like a muse, giving people ideas. That's sort of like a manipulator, and that is... Fuck, this is long. And that is what he's been doing the whole season. So far, every season, villain has been someone Team Flash has allowed to get close to them. I think HR's goofiness is just an act. Remember Harrison Wells warned them every season villain gained the team's trust, and then a major selfish lie involved? Thawne was in a disguise but trying to get home. Harrison wanted to steal the Flash's speed. Jay wanted to get faster. HR knows the penalty for dimensional travel, and he did it anyway. Penalty for dimensional travel, and I just read the same thing twice. That's crazy. When HR does show up, he says he was out with Rachel. More likely,
Like from Friends?
That's what I was thinking. The final Husk. If the next Husk villain is a female, bingo! Julian looks like a red herring, and we are all so convinced it's him that we stopped looking at HR, even though HR keeps throwing hints.
I agree a lot with what he said.
Yeah.
A lot.
And Lil Mario, from the previous comment, replied, also remember when Savitar said, you know I love a good myth to bury in that episode while they got sucked in?
Yeah.
While they got sucked off in an episode?
Yeah,
Was it from Jesse?
It was
Quick? It was so quick I didn't see it.
Jesus Christ.
And
That's why I'm a...
That's all the comments. I believe we read all of them.
Did we really?
I might have missed some replies, but
Yeah.
those are the real comments. So yeah, I do agree with that guy. I thought that things do point at HR, but I feel like they point so much it can't be him. You know what I mean?
I'll be okay if it's HR, because...
Oh, I will be too.
Because he'll turn evil and it'll be cool.
If it's HR, Eddie, or
Then they'll have to fucking
Reverse
find
Flash,
a new one.
I'll be happy.
You think they'll have tryouts again to be in next season?
Hopefully.
'Cause
Wasn't the woman like a really weird accent?
Yeah.
They should get that guy.
So you can start doing his accent?
Yeah. So if anybody else has theories on Savitar or want to add to our theories, comment down below and we'll read them next week on the podcast. But so right now we're going to get into what Pleeka's been up to. So tell the good folks on the internet what you've been doing this week.
Hiking.
Yeah, you want to tell them about our day? This is not how I thought our day was gonna go.
So we got up early.
Yeah, like 7 o'clock.
Well, I got up a little earlier than that.
Well, that's because you own a pig.
Yeah, that's true. We drove to Pinnacle Peak Mountain. Got my
Do you think
mom.
they know where that's at?
No. It's about, what, half hour away?
Yeah.
Were you asleep in the car?
Well, no.
Oh, okay. I was just asking. You usually
I normally do sleep in the... I don't know what it is. I'm like a little baby. When I get in a car, I just pass out. I don't know what it is.
No matter what time of day, anything.
Yeah. Like, I could be like, hey, can you bring me to the bank, which is right
You're the most boring person in the fucking world to drive anywhere.
Oh, I can't do anything without this motherfucker judging me. I was reading a comic book. It's this new Star Wars Rogue One.
I was just joking.
And he's like, you read a comic in the car? Oh, I'm Nick. And I was like...
Nobody says their name when they talk to you.
I was like, yeah, I am. You're just listening to the radio. And he goes, oh, what a fun companion you are today.
Well, at least you weren't asleep.
Like, if I wasn't reading, I probably would have been.
Yeah. So we go to the mountain. We climb up halfway. Well, we climb it to the top.
Yeah, and then we climb down. Which you say climb, we hiked. I always think it's funny that you say climb because I picture you like...
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't do that. We're not Sylvester Stallone. So we get to the top of the hike.
Yeah.
And it goes to another mountain. You have to go back down and come back up again. You two did not want to do that.
No. I didn't want to go up the first mountain.
But you offered and came with us. And then
well, no, you drugged my name into there, and I thought, well...
No, I said, do you want to go? You're like, I guess.
Exactly. Well, that's what I just said. You drugged my name in there, and I was like, well, maybe.
So, I then decide, I don't want to listen to these two fucking bitch the whole time, so we go back down.
I didn't bitch, I was quiet.
You quietly bitched.
I was out of breath, walking up the mountain.
Okay, so we go back, we get in the car...
The car starts rolling backwards.
Yeah, it wouldn't shift into drive. Or reverse. Or back into park, for that matter.
Yeah.
So then we had to call a tow truck, walk about mile
and a half maybe, to the nearest Walgreens.
And Macy picked us up.
Yeah, we got a ride home from Macy. And
then we went to lunch.
And then on our way home, we saw the tow truck have your truck... Or your car in front of us. I can put the picture of it on here you took.
Yeah, that's true.
Which that was real weird, because, like, the guy called him, he couldn't find the car. Which I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Cause, like, I thought we were going to go back up there and be like, hey, dude, with, like, little, like, airplane lights, like, right here.
Well, he was driving the wrong way.
Did you go, you're going the wrong way?
I thought about it.
And then Macy made a wrong turn, so two retards leading around trying to find your car and bring us home.
Like, she just went, like, she got there.
I was funny. She's like, yeah, I'm going home. You're like, you're going east. She's like, I am? And I was like, oh my god, the driver doesn't know where we're going? See, now you see why we were driving to the zoo one time and she drove us to the airport.
Did she get, like, animals and planes mixed
I don't
up?
remember. We're driving and Taylor goes, and I look out the window and Mima goes, why are we at the airport? Macy goes, I don't know, I took a wrong turn. And I was like, oh my god, what's going on?
She literally was, like, driving to New Mexico.
Yeah, well, maybe that's where we wanted to do lunch.
So then we get to lunch. My mom felt bad. She was going to buy us lunch.
And she goes, oh, fuck! And I didn't know. He knew instantly. She's like, I don't have my purse with me. I didn't bring it over for the hike. And then she's like, oh, I'll buy lunch.
Yeah,
so not only do you got to get your car fixed, you buy us all lunch.
Yeah, so that worked out well.
That was nice of you.
Jesus Christ.
And then also you're reading a little book, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm reading the 6th Bob Lee Swagger book.
How many is there total? Like, is this the last one, or is there...
No, there's more. The problem is I don't remember what it's called.
I'll look up.
Something Thunder.
Tropic Thunder?
No. Midnight Thunder, maybe? I don't know. I read the first 5 or so, and the last one was about him becoming like a samurai warrior, and it totally lost me, and I haven't read one in a couple years. But then I was just like, I'll try the next one. And this one, his daughter gets in some trouble, and he's like in some backwoods Tennessee town, and there's some fucking weirdos. But,
I kind of wish that, like, I wouldn't read those books, but if they made movies of those, like, with Mark Wahlberg, I would totally watch more of those movies.
Yeah, because it's Shooter, so, like...
Did it do well when it came out, Shooter?
You know, we didn't go see it.
Well, I was probably real little.
I think it did all right, you know? I mean, they made a fucking TV show out of it.
That's true. Oh, I bet that's... Oh, maybe... do you think the TV show...
Well, the TV show has started to do that. Like, in the first season...
I didn't even think about that.
The TV show, like, there's parts of it from other books. Like, he's already has his wife and a daughter. The daughter's, like, 8. But she's, like, a reporter in this one. She gets, like, taken off the side of the road.
Is she a
like,
reporter in the book?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, in the
Oh,
book.
okay.
In the book, she gets like knocked off the side of the road. She's like in a coma, and then he comes to help to find out if it's like legit or whatever. But so there's little pieces, but like he just called the Nick Memphis. I can't think of his name in the movie.
The guy from
Chips.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna say I told us what. Oh, if I was gonna say from Ant-Man.
Yeah, same guy.
Well, so you,
But it's a good book. I really like. I'm back into it, and they also have books about his father.
what's his name?
Um,
Because I know he's Bob Lee Swagger.
it's Earl Lee Swagger, I think. It's Earl Swagger. I'm not sure about the middle name.
But
But I haven't read one of his books. I've read about him because he's in a lot of another book I read.
mm-hmm.
And I think he's in a lot in the first book. It's either the first book or second book where like he has, like he feels like he has to do stuff for his dad. But I haven't read an actual book about him.
Oh, okay. I read a couple comics this week, as usual. I won't get into all of them, but they had a couple annuals come out last week, and I didn't buy them, but then I bought them this week. Well, one day I was at the gym because I was bored waiting for Mom to finish, so I was like, oh, look at comics, and then I bought two.
Yeah.
Which the annuals are a little more expensive, but I wanted to read them. There's Batgirl annual number 1.
What does that mean, annual?
I'm not exactly positive why they do this, but from what I looked up, it's like every time there's an extra Wednesday in a month, like I think every time there's like 3 Wednesdays in a month, instead of putting out a new issue,
There's always 3 Wednesdays in a month.
Maybe it's when there's a less one. Is there 3 Wednesdays this month?
I would assume so.
Well, maybe there's been 4. Whenever there's an extra Wednesday in a
Right.
month, I think they put out an annual instead of continuing the normal story. But the annual is like a special show. It'd be like it's like the duet episode of Flash. It doesn't really affect the plot.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Alright,
like
I
that.
got you. I just didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, when they came out, I was like, I don't know what this means. So I tried looking it up, and it doesn't seem like most people know what it means.
Oh. You'd think it'd come out once a year.
Yeah, but no, maybe that's, I don't know. But it's Batgirls, and it's featuring Supergirl, but in like Rebirth right now, Supergirl's in high school. So Batgirl's hanging out, and she's trying to defeat a bad guy, and then Supergirl shows up and like takes him. The guy runs away. She's like, "You want to go get him?" And she's like, "Nah, I put a tracker on him. I'll get him tomorrow." But then it's Supergirl and Batgirl like break into the Cadmus labs because this Supergirl's like talking with her mind to this other girl in there, but the girl knows Kryptonian, so she's like really confused and wants to know how. So they go break into the place, and then they end up finding this boy who almost has like killer frost powers. He's like freaking out, like blowing stuff at them. So then she uses her laser eyes to like basically heat him up and knock him out.
Yeah.
And then they finally found the girl, and she does this weird thing, sucks up into Supergirl. And then that's basically the end of that. They escape the building, and it says, "Yep, you want to know more about what happened with that girl? You got to read Supergirl number 1." And then I haven't finished the rest of it. But the rest is a story just about Batgirl. But so far, I actually liked it. Like I read the first Supergirl comic for Rebirth, and I just didn't like it.
Oh, really?
No, it has some cool ideas that I thought would have been maybe cool if they added into the show. Like she's in high school, so almost like Spider-Man kind of.
Yeah.
But actually, like this, I kind of wish they'd do more of Batgirl Supergirl together.
Like how many comics
This
do you
is a
read
cool
in a week?
Depends how many. This week I read. Let's see. So this week I just read the Batgirl annual, the Teen Titan or just Titans annual, Superman, X-Men Gold, and now I'm reading Star Wars. So usually 5 to 6 a week.
Wow.
Depends on how many come out. There's one week where I spent like $36 on comics.
Jesus.
Because like 10 came out and I was like, oh god. But then I read them all in a day. Like,
It's not a lot of bang for your buck.
Because normally, well, to me, I get excited. Because like normally, what they used to do, but they've mixed it up now, which is a little annoying. It's like every other week I get to read a couple I like.
Mm-hmm.
But like normally I'd buy Flash, Superman, and then now there's Action Comics too. So Action Comics is also Superman. And there's the Chinese Superman, so I read 3 Superman comics.
Jesus Christ.
And then like if there's one from Marvel that I read, I'll read that. And then Justice League of America, and then Teen Titans. So there's 7 that I read, and Super Sons, which is Damian, Batman's son, and Superboy, which I really like that one. But there's only a couple.
Right.
That one. Like,
that sounds horrible to me.
I
know you said that you like it, so.
That's what I feel like. Superman is my favorite comic character now since Rebirth.
Oh, really?
Like I really, because he's like, he's a dad, so you get to see like a lot of like family stuff with it, and then like every once in a while they go out and fight a bad guy together and stuff like that. But then Batman and his son are in a lot too.
Oh, that's weird.
So like I really like it. Like it's just cool
Right.
seeing. I've never seen that side of them before.
Right.
But I like that. But then I started reading Rogue One's comics. I'm only halfway through, which it seems to be flying through the movie. There's only 6 issues of it, but they're kind of, you know, that beginning like, oh, they're at this planet, like going through. It's going through that really quick because that's not really that important.
Yeah,
But
that's where I forgot. I haven't seen it since the theaters.
yeah, I just watched it last night.
Yeah.
But it's cool so far because they're actually showing some different things. Like you get to see the forgot his name, Bodhi Rook, I think, the guy from the Night Of. You get to see him talk to Jyn Erso's dad, like, because you know how he gets that message for what's his face. You can see him get that and go to him and all these some extra scenes.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, they can do that.
Yeah, which is cool. So I like that so far. I haven't finished the first issue yet, but I also read Mark Guggenheim, who's the head of Arrow. He started X-Men Gold.
Oh, really?
Which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll read that. And it's got Old Man Logan. It's got Colossus. And then a Nightcrawler, and then a couple other X-Men people that I don't really know of.
A guy from DC is allowed to do.
Yeah, he writes a ton of comics for Marvel. I always see him tweeting him out, but it's like I don't really like Marvel comics that much. Especially right now, they're losing so much money in comics, like no one's really buying them.
Really?
But then like this is like their first good one in a while. But I really like it because I figured, oh, guy from Arrow writing a comic, I might like that.
Why are their comics losing money? Because they put all their money in films.
Well, I think they're just not as yeah. Well, I think they're doing a lot of weird things too. Like they just did Civil War 2, which no one really liked. But then the reason the other comics would do bad is because they would tie them into Civil War 2, but no one cared about Civil War 2.
I got you.
So then a lot of people just weren't buying them.
Right.
And then I edited a video last night and uploaded it today, which by the time I watch this podcast will be yesterday. But it's Flash and Arrow react to the Justice League trailer.
That was a cool video.
So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I'll link it in the description. But it's cool to you see like them like, oh, they see Flash and get to see the reaction on their face. I thought it was kind of fun. It was a funny idea.
Yeah.
I originally, because I told you I had an idea of when the Black Flash is running after Reverse Flash. It reminded me of the Roadrunner, so I want to go meet, but like it'd be better off as just like a Vine or something, even though Vine's dead now. But something that looked like he got rode stupid after like the 14th meet.
Oh, did you go that far?
I went to one point when he has him locked up and he's banging on the door and all this stuff, and I was like, me, and then I was like, I'm done with it. It's stupid at this point. So I deleted it. And then I thought...
I didn't know that.
Then I thought, oh, it'd be funny if I did... Because I was just going to cancel it and go watch Star Wars Episode 4. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, what if I did Barry reacting to himself doing Flashpoint? That might be funny. And then as I started getting the footage, I was like, wait a minute, why don't I just do him and Arrow reacting to the Justice League trailer?
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't expect, like, because you text me and you were like, I want to show you a video, and I was like, he goes, I did a quick little video, and I was like, okay, but it was cool.
Yeah, it's something different. I thought maybe if you guys like that, you should comment on the video and stuff. Maybe I'll do more like little videos like that, because it's like fun getting other videos from stuff and like adding stuff together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was my first time doing it, so like if I do another one, maybe I'll put more time into it, make it better.
Right.
But that's basically what I did this week was read comics and make that video. And
yeah.
No, we did start sequels. So if you're interested, we did a whole video about The Godfather. You go check that out also.
Yeah, we have to watch Godfather 2 this weekend.
Yeah, if you want to watch Godfather 2 with... Well, not going to watch it with us, but if you want to watch it and hear us talk about it the following... Well,
I'm just not buying food.
Well, you got to come over here and...
Or giving you my address.
Yeah. You guys can go watch it with Hess if he ever wants to watch it. But we're going to put out a video next week. I don't know what day, but it'll be out next week. So if you want to watch it this weekend or sometime next week, our video for that will be out. Which I like sequels. It was kind of fun. It was different because they're talking about movie and look at trivia on it, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to look up the trivia and the extra stuff for Godfather 2 before we watch it.
Oh, so you're cheating.
No, it's not cheating.
Yeah, no. You've seen the movie. I have. If I did it might have spoilers.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it, but I can do it.
Yeah. So you want to get into Big Little Lies finale?
Sure.
We waited so long where it's not relevant anymore?
Yes, absolutely.
Because
I mean, Hess could have came over and done this part.
Some dildo.
Oh, that's right. Hess was going to come over, but he didn't.
Yeah, he's also going to come over for Godfather.
But he didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know.
I couldn't. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
So how did you feel about the Big Little Lies finale?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It was weird. I'm not saying the episodes like are bad, but they seem really long when you're watching it. Like you're watching like this is good, but it's pretty long. Even though they just feel like to me, I feel like I feel the hour, but like not in a bad way. This episode flew by me, but it might be because I was like, oh fuck, I know someone's gonna die. Who's gonna die? Like, kind of waiting for it.
I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did because
we knew it was gonna we didn't know, but like we guessed what was gonna happen, and then as it started coming, we're like, oh yeah, we were right.
And there was a lot of tension when you watched it, like when when Adam Scott was gonna fight Nathan, they're kind of pushing each other, and he kept looking at like the guy that Reese Witherspoon was having an affair with. Or just all those like little things you're like.
Well, it was cool because you see Bonnie, see them
them arguing.
Eric from True Blood, Perry and his wife argue, and then you see her run away, and you see him like get flustered, and then like someone talks to him, like you see her watching all this, and we were like, oh, is Bonnie gonna kill him?
Yeah.
We were like, I know he talked about that in a podcast, but I didn't think that really happened. And then all this stuff happens, and then they're standing there. He's standing there with Jade. Is it Jade or Jane?
Jane.
And then
in
the middle of them, they're talking. I was like, oh fuck, and you're like, well, I was like, they're gonna recognize each other, and you're like, oh my god, yeah. Then we're like, do you see? And like all of a sudden, they look at each other, and she's like, oh fuck, that's him. And then you see Reese Witherspoon look at him, and then his wife looks at him and looks at them, and you're like, oh my god, they all just figured it out.
Yeah, that was cool, cause like you could literally see it in all of their eyes. And then Alexander Skarsgård was like, oh fuck.
And then it just cuts to the police being there. We're like, oh, they're not really gonna show it. And they show all this stuff, and then they show his body laying there, and they show him the beach. We're like, oh my god, they're not going to. And he did all this stuff, and then at the end they show him like he's fucking punching everybody, all this stuff. Bonnie just knocks him right off the stairs.
Yoga boxing shit that she's doing paid off.
Yeah. Which I looked up in the book. Apparently, after all this happens, Bonnie confesses. All she gets is like community service. I mean, it was a couple things like that.
It was. I mean,
he deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely self-defense. Like, I mean, it wasn't self-defense for Bonnie, but she was defending him. She was saving her.
Yeah. And apparently in the book, she pushes him up a balcony and not stairs. Which I remember when they were saying, I was like, oh, I bet it's those fucking stairs because she was ripping off that tape all season.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It's funny that it could end, and we thought the kid was bullying him.
Yeah, because the teeth didn't match the other kid.
That's not why we thought that.
That's exactly why, my theory.
Okay, Hess. But yeah, no, it's weird that we knew where it was going, but we still liked it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Better Call Saul.
Kind of, yeah. We know where it's heading, and it's like it's still interesting.
It's the path getting there that's the fun part.
Yeah. But next week the podcast is going to be all about Better Call Saul. We're going to be recapping the entire series.
I'm super excited to watch the first episode.
Oh, the new season?
Yeah.
Do you think the chicken guy will be in the first episode?
Fuck. Maybe at the end.
Kind of like how
Tuco was? Yeah.
I remember, because I rewatched the first and the last episode of the last season, and at the end of the first episode, when he pops up, I was like, oh, fuck, okay, I want to watch the second episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, my favorite character in Better Call Saul is Nacho. So I'm hoping he's in it a lot in season 3.
Do you think this will be the season he dies, or do you think they'll keep him going up until the end and kill him?
I don't think he necessarily has to die this episode. I mean season. Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know. Do you think when he becomes Saul, they'll end the show, or do you think they'll have like 2, maybe 3 seasons of him being Saul, and then they'll end with him like meeting Walt and Jesse?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many seasons they're gonna do.
I think that would be a cool finale if it's like the exact moment when Walt and Jesse kidnap him and that happens, and then it just ends.
That would be pretty cool.
Because it could even end like with the Breaking Bad music or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing.
Because then you could pretty much watch Better Call Saul. And then
the coolest thing is that it's actually good.
Yeah.
Because when they said they were gonna do like a spin-off with Saul, I was like, what the fuck? Like that doesn't even sound good.
Yeah, well, because a lot of people thought it was gonna be a comedy, and they were like, no, it's gonna be kind of dark like Breaking Bad.
And it's weird that it's so much like Breaking Bad, but it's still different.
Yeah, well, because it's kind of like Flash Gordon and all that. You can tell it's the same universe, but it's different.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I do want to say, back to Little Lies slightly, and by slightly I mean fully. We did a poll on Twitter, and I put, how did you feel about the finale of Big Little Lies? And I loved it. Great. It was okay. It sucked. 83% of people voted loved it.
That's pretty high.
13 put great, and then 3%, so one person said it was okay.
That was that Hess?
Probably. We didn't get in contact with Hess to see what his feelings were.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't even know if he liked it.
Yeah, well
hey Hess, comment down below if you liked...
If you made it to this point of the podcast, Hess, comment if you liked Big Little Lies finale.
He'll put, it was the shit.
It was fucking crazy. I didn't see that coming. Bonnie's a badass.
He probably thinks a wave killed him at the end.
Probably. Oh my god. Remember at the beginning episode, they're at the... Oh no, it was at the end. They're at the beach. I was like, do you think Hess is scared right now? There's all those gunshots going on.
That was... That was one of his true shining moments. That's up there with driving the wrong car.
And getting his cockpit under the table. There's so many random moments.
We should make a best of Hess. It would just, you have to go through so many hours.
Yeah, that'd be the annoying. Well, a lot of it too is just audio, so like I have to make a little animation thing, and it takes a lot of time.
That's all you got, baby.
Yeah. But anything else you want to say about Big Little Lies?
No,
I keep almost saying The Big Lebowski.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed every episode.
Yeah, I recommend watching it. You probably spoiled it for you, but
that's true. I mean, we just.
But like we said, even though we knew the ending or figured out the ending, it was still really good.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know 100% of everything, but we were pretty fucking close.
Yeah, well, we knew, we just didn't know the details, kind of.
Yeah.
I figured this is gonna happen. Like, we knew he was the rapist. We figured it was his son. We figured he died.
Yeah, we thought he was you thought he was the rapist before you even watched the show.
Yeah, I just saw like his shadow, and I was like, yeah, it looks like
I was watching
him in True Blood being like Dracula.
Watching the second episode, and I called you out there, and I go, does that look like Eric from True Blood? And you're like, I totally thought it was Eric from True Blood.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know he was in the show.
I thought you were just gonna show me like a funny clip with him in it.
No, he's raping somebody.
And you're like, yeah, here's him raping a girl. How funny is that?
And you're like, ha ha.
Wow. So thanks for listening or watching the Pleeka podcast.
Or both.
That's what I said, listening or watching.
Yeah, and I said both.
You think someone does both? Like they hit play on iTunes and they hit play on YouTube at the same time, matched up?
Probably not. Maybe iTunes sounds better, so then they.
Oh my god. But yeah, so next week's podcast will be all about Better Call Saul, and then we'll also do what we did this week. All the links to the version of the podcast will be in the description, and I believe that's it. See you guys later.
You ever had someone tell you you have a silver tongue?
I get really sweaty at work. I get like rub my taint, like.
Hey, get in my Popeye.